care workers, blacks.
Oh, that's a man, bro. I saw that
Nah.
motherfucker, Melinda, whatever. That bitch is a man.
Oh yeah. She remind me of what's that show? Mrs.
Doubtfire?
We
Yeah,
on
that's what
Akim?
she remind me of. That would have been
It's
dope.
on.
Yeah, it's on.
All right, Shalom Akim. We here, brothers from GMS Houston, and we just want to put a sit down together for you brothers in the spirit of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. So with that being said, we're going to kick it off giving all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, Bashim Rakakabash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the Akim who are out there enduring the fight of faith. So you just keep enduring, keep pushing, because I know you brothers got your eyes open and your ears to the ground. You see it's going down, man.
Right.
Babylon is going down. The prophecy's popping off, like hot grease off fried chicken. It's popping. So yeah, keep going. We will get into some of the second Ezra, the ninth chapter, and just roll in the spirit. So yeah, you brothers got any remarks or anything, y'all, before we kick it off?
The second Ezra 9:1. He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs pass, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made.
All right, I put it right there. Go to Ecclesiastes. Okay. 8. Around the 4th verse. So the scripture said, measure. He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself. And this scripture has been coming out a lot lately, from brothers within GMS, because we know these are the times that we're supposed to be measuring. But how do you measure the time? You measure the time, or you gauge it by prophecy.
Right.
That's why you got the world so lost and confused. They worrying about America bouncing back and thinking that, this whole pandemic is about to just subside. But see, they're not measuring the time. Because especially these Christians, they're going to these churches and letting these pastors fill their head up with this Babylonian wine, this Kool-Aid that they push. But yeah, all that's going to get them, it's going to mislead them and have them destroyed. So what they say around the 3rd or 4th verse out?
It's Ecclesiastes chapter 3, chapter 8, verse 3. So like it says, be not hasty to go out of his sight.
Okay, jump down.
Ecclesiastes 8:4 says, where the word of a king is, it says, there is power. And who may say unto him, what doest thou?
Go ahead.
5, it says, whoso keepeth the commandment shall feel no evil thing. And a wise man's heart discerneth both time and judgment.
So a wise man's heart discerning both time and judgment. So this is why the world is lost. This world is foolish.
Right.
And we know that from 1 Corinthians, the 1st chapter. Yeah, 1 Corinthians chapter 1. So right, the wise is one more time out.
Ecclesiastes 8:4, it says, where the word of a king is, it says, there is power. And who may say
Right,
unto
these
him,
are the words of a king, the king of kings.
Right.
So there's power within these words and within us, because as King David stated, we hide this word in our heart. So that power is within us, That's why we don't have to be afraid. We don't have to fear the second wave of corona.
Right.
These protests, which is going to lead up to racial tensions, which is going to lead up to an explosion, a race riot, But we don't fear none of these things. Because the power that's within us, these words. Go ahead.
it says, and who may say unto him, what doest thou? Verse 5, whoso keepeth the commandment shall feel no evil thing.
That's why you don't have to be afraid when you, as the scriptures say, rehearse the righteous acts. The Most High is going to fight for you. He's going to stand on your behalf. So, right, whosoever keepeth the commandments shall feel no evil thing. So there is nothing for us to fear. as the hopeful elect. Yeah, brother.
It says, in a wise man's heart discerneth both time and judgment.
Right, so you have to discern by this word. This is how we gauge the times that we're in. This is why the world is lost. Because churches don't get into scripture. Right. The church have a handful of scriptures they'll go into, and they'll be given an itinerary for the year, what to go into this Sunday, then the next Sunday, you know, and then the next Sunday, because you're looking at what, roughly 36, 50, well, 52 weeks. So, yeah.
And just
roughly
real quick,
52 Sundays.
so like you said, they got a list of scriptures to go into, and they only go into a certain few, and they break every last one of them down wrong. Right. Every last one of them, because they don't know what they're talking about.
Right, they're there to give you the doctrines of men. Right. You know, this devil. Yeah, brother. That was the point.
Because it said the wise understand the times, man. You see, real quick, this First Thessalonians 5:1. But of the times and the seasons, brethren, ye have no need that I write unto you. For yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord, Yahushua, so cometh as a thief in the night. You see, Apostle Paul telling the church, the believers, the elect, I don't have to write to y'all and warn y'all about what times we're in. He said, because y'all already know what times we're in. Why? Because we measuring it by the prophecy. We measuring it by what's written. And like the elder said, this world is lost. You know why? You got to remember, these was actual words and men in real life, you know, that we read. This was actual real life. In Matthew 24, the disciples said, Lord, tell us what shall be the sign of thy coming in the end of the world, right? Right. And it said they went into him privately. They went into him privately. So who got the secrets and the mysteries on and prophecies on what to look for before the Lord coming? Only the disciples, man. Because they went to him privately. The same thing today. Only the elect gonna know the times they in, man. Not for everybody to know. And it says, for when they shall say peace and safety, then shall sudden destruction come upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. But ye, brethren, are not in darkness, that they should not overtake you as a thief. Ye are all of the children of light and the children of the day. We are not of the night nor of darkness.
So, it said what that scripture say, the whole world lieth in darkness. You know, so they don't have any idea what's going on. Scriptures also say the gross darkness shall cover the earth. Right. So everybody with, you know, that light, like the brother was speaking, that power, that light is within us. That's how we can be calm, you know, and see what's going on and not get rattled up, you know, because we know what's coming ultimately. Not exactly how, but we know it's ultimately coming. You know,
that's a great point, because anybody could buy a Bible and read it.
Right.
You can say, well, see, Jesus coming close to coming back. This says it's gonna happen, but look, when those things do come, you're not gonna have the true wisdom and knowledge and understanding to keep you stable in those times. You can know Jesus coming back, but how you gonna react in those times? Is you gonna be protected? You gonna have faith? No, the elect, they gonna be comforted in those times, like the elder was just saying, man. You know, we hoping it get worse, because that's better for us. But this,
you know, so like, it's just real quick. In Ecclesiastes 3, it lists all those times. You know, and it's a time for everything, man. You know, it's a time to be born, a time to die, time for love, a time for war, time for hate, time for peace. You know, love and hate, war and peace. I mean, but y'all ain't gonna even recognize what the times are, and not say when they come upon us, because they're coming upon us now. And that shows even further the Most High ain't dealing with everybody, man. This ain't for everybody, because you can't see what's happening right before your very eyes, man. Your eyes are wide shut.
Right.
There's 69. But if I can add to what the elder was saying, you know, we're out in the midst of these times, man. Up in Seattle, they got a whole precinct of where the civilians is just, they taking over. No police. The civilians is guarding. They guarding everything. It's like they policing. You know?
Yeah,
so,
you said in
Second Ezra,
second
the uprising of the people.
Right. You know,
where they will say they should not regard their
kings nor princes. Right. I'm just going to add, you know, they don't have no regard. They just, really, it's Egyptian against the Egyptian. Like, they finna start firing on each other because there's no order amongst that. You know what I mean? But let's get that second Edges 9.
15. We'll go to that 15 first. 15.
I got you real quick. You can read from that 9. I gotta get this one real quick. The second Ezra's 15, and I'll start at 15. For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh. One people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hands. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one.
Jump up and grab 14.
Come. The second Ezra's 15 and 14. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein.
So this is a foolish world that's
Right.
engrossed in darkness.
Right.
Again, in reference to Isaiah 60 and 1. So, right, woe to the world and all the foolish that dwell therein here. You know, because they have no idea of the times. You know, you're more afraid of a virus than you are of him who created the virus. That's why you need to be destroyed. You know? Yeah, brother.
Verse 15. For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh. And one people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hands.
Right, so you're going to have, it just says, Yahweh Shah himself stated, I want to say Matthew the 10th chapter, he said, think not, go get that real quick, 10 to 24. Right, he ain't come to send peace, he come to bring division. He said, a man's foe shall be there of his household.
Right.
But yeah, you going to have.
I got it.
Yeah, it's Matthew 10. It's a lot, bro.
Go
It's
ahead.
Matthew 10. Matthew 10 and 34. It says, think not that I am come to send peace on earth. I came not to send peace, but a sword.
So there you go right there in itself. Just seeing the chaos that's breaking out, showing you that Yahushua is getting close to his second coming. Right. His grand debut. Yeah.
Hey, Shalom. Y'all about
Brother.
Shabbat
Come get a piece of this.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, yeah, that, go ahead, brother. Read it from the top.
Matthew 10 and 34, it says, think not that I am come to send peace on earth. I came not to send peace, but a sword.
In the form of warfare.
Right.
This is why you see all this chaos. Jake getting gunned down in the street, getting fake gunned down in the street, just to draw emotional responses from people to get people fired up. Because when you go back to the book of Genesis, it's stated in the 49th chapter as concerning the tribe of Judah, who shall rise him up. And all this is taking place. You had what was that chick?
Breonna Taylor?
Yeah. Her. You had
Ahmaud Arbery.
yeah, Arbery. What was the other cat that was filming the shit? I forget his name.
On the Instagram live
Yeah,
shit.
he
Oh
was
yeah,
live.
I don't know.
Sean Reed.
Reed.
Oh,
yeah.
no. I thought you were talking about Cat Steele.
These was like right back to back.
Yeah. Right.
That's the Most High stirring, rousing Jacob.
Right.
You know. But it's like the Most High did such a good job in putting these niggas to sleep.
Right.
They don't want to wake up. But the time is gonna come to where they ain't gonna have no choice, man. Cause to go back to the quote that Jerusalem they say, man, you know, when people have nothing else to lose, they lose it. You can only push a people so far. Well, something has to happen. Yeah, brother. Oh, who had? Go ahead, Al.
Matthew 10 and 35, it says, for I am come to set a man at variance against his father, and the daughter against her mother, and the daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. It says 36, and a man's foes shall be they of his own household.
All right, what's after that?
It says 37, he that loveth father and mother.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, that's
So, right, this gonna be so much sedition and what's that, schism in the world. You know that, hey, you gonna have one people against another people. You're gonna have the rich against the poor. You gonna have the father against the son, mother against the daughter. It's gonna be gender war.
Right.
Heterosexuals against homosexuals. It's gonna be all types of chaos, man. We're gonna be in chaos like never before. And that's why Isaiah 33 and 6 is so pertinent to the times that we are living in as the hopeful elect of the Most High. We got to remain steadfast in these words. Yeah, brother. Yeah.
Back in 2nd Esdras 15 and
Oh, we gotta go back. Yeah, you had 15?
15 and 15.
Right.
2nd Esdras 15 and 15, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hands. And it don't literally have to be an actual sword. It can be a gun, you know, a flamethrower, whatever kind of weapon you have. Or it could be a literal sword.
Right.
But it's weapons in general, man. People hey, you already know Esau. He ready to bear his arms. You know.
And if I can as well, you know, that sword is also his words. You know, Scripture talks about how he whets his tongue like a sword.
Yeah, songs.
You know, so yeah, I mean, you know, as the brother's going into, we're in a spiritual warfare in itself. So it's not just physical, it's not just mental. You know, it's not any of the ways in which most people think. But the words in themselves are destructive. You know, so anyway, just wanted to add on top of that.
It is words, too, because in Jacob's trouble, what's going to ultimately keep us stable? The words.
Right.
The words, you know.
And Esau himself, he'll tell you in a minute, the pen is mightier than the sword. What is the pen? The pen is for writing down words.
It dictates what happens.
Legislation, that's why they do all that shit. Contracts.
You got that in Psalms?
No.
64 and 3 real quick, and then you got it.
All right. Psalm 64.
I see you with the tabs.
Yeah, I had to get them, bro.
Ain't nothing wrong with that, brother.
Psalm 64 and verse 3.
Right, start at the top real quick.
Okay, Psalm 64 and verse 1, it says, "Hear my voice, O power, in my prayer, preserve my life from fear of the enemy."
Right, yeah. And we were just talking about, you know, there's going to be a variance. You know, there's going to be sedition amongst men. All of this is really a spiritual warfare between Jacob and Esau. Okay, go ahead.
Psalm 64 2, "Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked."
So that counsel in itself is destroying our people because they don't have the answers. The answers are provided by the prophets of the Lord, you know, of how to actually navigate that wisdom and knowledge that the brother was talking about. Okay, yep.
It says, "From the insurrection of the workers of iniquity."
So this is their job. They work iniquity. You know what I mean? Like this is the reason why they're here. But it's not to have Jake. It's not to have Jake treat Esau as if he's not a threat. He's an enemy. You know. So his whole mission is to destroy our people. Go ahead.
Verse 3, Psalm 64 and 3, "Who whet their tongue like a sword, and bend their bows to shoot their arrows, even bitter words."
Even bitter words, you know. So we talk about smooth words, we talk about bitter words, but they whet their tongue like a sword. Going back to what the brother was talking about in what was that 2nd Ezra 15 chapter.
Right.
So yeah, those swords in themselves can be literal swords, physical swords, but they can also be words because words cut. You know, and they tear, just like the words of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, you know, quick and powerful. Esau's words destroy people's spiritual growth and stunts it. You know, so that's why they whet their tongue like a sword. When you whet a sword, you're sharpening it. You're making it more violent. I'll just say that you're making it more violent to do what? To destroy your enemy. Esau, the so-called white man, to us, to him, we are his enemy. So he's preparing war, and that war is through words and through the other actions. So that's all.
2nd Esdras 15 and 16. "For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power."
Like I said, going back to what you were saying, brother.
Back in Seattle, they had that what is called a autonomous zone, where they cut off the police, and the civilians are basically police in the area. So it's like, man, like, I got a quick precept because it's gonna tie in this. It says Isaiah 19 and 2. It says, "And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight every one against his brother, and every one against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom." Right. So you have an autonomous zone where certain areas or civilians are going to protect that area from other people. And this is all within America. We have never seen anything like this, man. So,
well, it was happening in Katrina.
Okay, right.
We saw did that shit.
Cutting off areas, right.
Well, they was protecting their neighborhood, you
Right,
know. So
right.
when Jake come through there.
They blowing
It
away.
didn't matter, you know. Esau, all people love to look at this man as being, you know, superior or morally upright and shit, but you know it's a disaster. And you out there just picking people off. You know they looking for help. You know they flooded out. But you would rather fire on them than try to help them. But you know, I'm saying that to say that our people still would not regard this man as their enemy. But that's something an enemy would do. And that's leading up to that explosion that's getting ready to break out. And these riots. This insurrection that's coming. Yeah, I can.
You know what they remind me of? In Obadiah, when the Babylonians came, the first temple, who was running what Esau did. He was trying to escape. He made it worse. The same thing like you were just saying to Katrina. Jake looking for help, and you making this shit worse, man. That's to tell you, that's Esau spirit, you know?
Huh.
But
That's right, huh?
back and see you want to read 2nd Esdras 9 now.
Oh, you got it.
2nd Esdras 9, I'm going to just start from the top again. He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made.
Man, so there's about to be a visitation, a highly spiritual visitation. And yeah, man, this whole world is going to be turned upside down. You know, Yahweh Shai said, I come to bring fire. You know, and what would it be if, what would I be if it's already kindled, paraphrasing? But right, Yahweh Shai is coming to bring fire to this place. You know, in various forms.
Right.
You know, and that's what's coming, man. If people not ready, they'll get consumed by that fire. And going back to what you were saying this a second ago, you can have the Bible and you can know the Lord is coming, but if you haven't been conditioning yourself, you're not going to be able to stand. Just like me trying to get in the ring with Joshua.
Right.
You know, I ain't conditioned for that. You know, this is my arena. Right. He tried to step into my arena.
Right.
He's not conditioned to deal with this.
Right.
You know? Yeah, brother.
I guess scripture said, haven't done all to stand.
Right.
You know, that's only the elect gonna do all, have that full armor on, man. But it says, verse 3, therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world.
Yeah, Vegas just had a quake. You know? Go ahead.
And we don't even, you see the uproars. That's the obvious, you know? It says, and see uproars of the people in the world, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. For like as all that is made in the world have a beginning and the end is manifest. God,
Yeah, we in that time where it's being manifested. Right. Most High prophecies are all coming to fruition right now. You know, one by one. We're just waiting for the full implementation of that mark of the beast, and it's gonna be a wrap. You're gonna see us quickly. You're gonna see things quickly. It's gonna be like kicking over a line of dominoes. Right.
Yep.
You know.
You
That's why the scriptures say. No, that's why the scriptures say our salvation is nearer than when we believe.
Right.
You know. Yeah, you about to say
That's
something.
why I say you gotta remember, Yahweh Shai said, immediately after the tribulation of those days shall the sun be dark and the moon shall not give a light, and you shall see the Son of Man. So it ain't gonna take long. Jacob trouble, you know, we don't know how long it's gonna be, but he said immediately after the tribulation of those days, he gonna come quick, you know. But it says, verse 6, 2nd Esdras 9 and 6, it says, verse 5 again, for like as all that is made in the world have a beginning and an end is manifest. Even so the times also of the highest have plain beginnings and wonders and powerful works and endings and effects and signs.
That's what the brother you kind of just brought out. You know, it's a time to be born and a time to die. America had a beginning. Now we at an end. You seriously think this shithole is an everlasting kingdom? It cannot sustain itself. Wicked is unsustainable. Wickedness is unsustainable. Why? Because it brings destruction. It brings decay. It brings ruin. Only righteousness and truth can be sustained, throughout eons, centuries, millenniums. Only righteousness. So that's damn sure not this kingdom.
Right.
While you people around there marching, you got to march for your rights. That should let you know.
Right.
You got to march and protest for your rights. But Jake ain't gonna never wake up.
Right.
If you got to ask for something, that means,
Right.
that means they didn't want you to have it in the first place.
Right.
Yeah.
I got a quick precept. This is Ecclesiastes chapter 7, and I'm gonna start at 7, and then point is at 8. It says, "Surely oppression maketh a wise man mad, and a gift destroyeth the heart." And that's really what Jake has bought into, is the gift of Babylon, the gift of this, this whore, this system in which they've received all these luxuries, but now that they're realizing, some are realizing that Esau really don't give two shits about them, it's destroyed them. But only the elect are the ones that are mad, because we are the ones that are wise. It says, "Surely oppression maketh a wise man mad." Right. See, 2/3 don't even know that they're still in oppression,
Right.
in captivity. Like the brother was saying, like they should have been, tore this place down. It's like these recent killings in 2020 have been going on, since the beginning.
It's been going on. Right.
So the question is, why haven't you become mad in a spiritual sense? Because you're not wise and you don't have the answers in that gift of what Esau, his pleasantries, and the quote unquote, what is the liberty that he's given you, but he hasn't. But rights, unalienable rights, are by Yahweh Shem Yahushai. So you go into an oppressor looking for rights when the only one that can declare rights is Yahweh Shem Yahushai. You can't get rights from a man.
Right.
A man can't give you rights.
Right.
Okay, your creator has to. But that's why their heart, their mind is destroyed, because they've received that gift from Esau. Verse 8, it says, "Better," going back to the point in which Tazapah was talking about as far as Babylon in itself, it says, "Better is the end of a thing than the beginning of it." So Babylon has had its beginning, now it's at its end. But this is the best part.
Right.
The best part that everybody's been waiting on, to see this place crumble. And we're seeing it. It's being made manifest, as the brother said, just like dominoes. Okay? It says, "And the patient in spirit is better than the proud in spirit." And we are the ones that are patient because we have that wisdom and knowledge of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. We understand the prophecies. We understand that we're supposed to be waiting on Yahweh Shem Yahushai to basically kick it off.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Right.
Yep.
Versus the proud in spirit, Esau, the so-called white man, using his carnal sword, right? Pursuing back to 2nd Ezra 15th chapter, none of that's going to work. So the Lord is giving you the play. He's giving you the answers, but you got to make a move on it.
Right.
That's it.
Quick precept about Shah, just to what the brother was talking about, Esau's pride, man. Esau thinking this is not going to end.
Right.
Somehow he's going to fix it, and you got 2/3 of our people that are buying into that, looking to him for the answers. Like, he said he can fix it, please let him fix it, and all that. But this is Psalms 49 and 11. It says, "The inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever, and their dwelling places to all generations. They call their lands after their own name." And that's Esau in a nutshell. Who else goes around naming lands after his own name, bro? Land that's not his.
This is Houston.
Right. Well,
We're
where
in
that
Houston.
came from?
Yeah,
Houston. Exactly. Austin. Shit like that.
Shit,
But-
America in the whole.
Yeah, shit. And then even your beloved Africa,
Right.
named after a so-called white man. Was it Amerigos Vespucci?
America Vespucci.
Vespucci Salaki. But the thing is, it says the inward thought, they honestly believe that their houses shall continue forever. They don't think this is going nowhere.
Right.
Somehow the great America is going to bounce back and it's going to be fixed. But that ain't true.
That's right. And that's why you go to, you read into Isaiah 47, and toward the end, the Most High is making mockery of Esau and America. And he's saying, stand now with thine enchantments. Because that's what's been keeping America afloat. The sorcery, the enchantments, the witchcraft. You know, this is why Esau have, and I mentioned, you know, with H.R. 6666, the Trace Act. It was introduced on May 1st. They don't do nothing by happenstance.
Right.
You know, May 1st, May Day, that's in relation to war. And that's what they're doing. They're legislating war against the people. And the people around here just waiting for shit to open back up.
Right.
They're not improving their diet. They damn sure ain't getting into these scriptures trying to get fed spiritually.
Right.
But they still, you know, eating this fake ass GMO based food. Still just, you know, living that Babylonian lifestyle.
Under that spell, yeah,
You know? Yeah, they still under that sorcery.
that enchantment.
And as the brother read, this day, that day of the Lord is going to come upon them as a thief in the night.
Right.
And they're not going to be able to stand. So, yeah.
Yeah, and if I could add real quick, I thought it's beautiful because although Esau doesn't feel that our people are a threat to him, because clearly, you know, our people are march and protest for a week and a half or whatever, but here recently, one of the things that I want to highlight, not that it makes any difference, but I think that it does show that our people are, you know, starting to at least realize that, you know, Esau is a damn devil, man, to a degree. To a degree is because throughout the U.S. they've been throwing the Christopher Columbus statues in the water and beheading them, you know, as far as now, of course, none of that will really affect Esau and his inward thought. You know what I mean? He's still gonna believe like, all right, cool, that's just a statue or whatever. But the point is, people are starting to realize that
That's
Esau.
the effect he wants.
Right.
He
That's
want
part
to
of
see
the
that.
setup.
Right. Yeah. Right. Yeah. He wants to see those things that gears towards martial law, you know, and placing our people in FEMA concentration camps, you know. But it's gonna take more than that,
Right.
you know. So that's
But
all.
yeah, you just real quick, if I can say something on that, that shows you the simplicity of our people. They pulled down some statues. They think they done
They
it.
done something.
Right.
You know, just like we
It's
had
over.
said before camp, they done got them to stop flying the Confederate flag at Daytona. You know, let them fly the flag.
Right.
That's the flag symbolizes. That flag symbolizes what? That's nothing more than a participant trophy, man. They went and participated in the war and got their ass kicked. That's the flag of a loser. That's all the Confederate flag is, a participant's trophy or ribbon. You lost. And Jake said, well, they ain't flying it no more. Nigga, you don't go to
You don't even go
Daytona
there.
no way.
That shit crazy.
Right.
And y'all call those things victories.
Yeah. It's all.
Getting back to real quick to Esau and his enchantments. Look for some more shit to go down in the next couple of weeks or so toward the end of this month, because the summer solstice is on the 21st of this month.
Yep.
So yeah, the summer solstice. So and this is what Esau does, and as brothers have went into, they're looking for ways to try to keep this influence, this influence of wickedness pushed throughout the earth. Yeah, brother, we'll go back to that second Ezra.
Okay. Second Ezra 9 and 6.
We'll read down to say along this spot. Yeah, yes, okay, we'll stop right there. All right.
In 6 it says, even so the times also of the highest have plain beginnings in wonders and powerful works and endings in effects and signs. And every one that shall be saved and shall be able to escape by his works and by faith whereby ye have believed.
And so right, and that's that condition. You know, hey, faith is a gift, but then once it's given to you, you got to build upon that gift. You know, and shit, just as, like these Christians in these secular churches under the umbrella of Catholicism, They'll holler faith all day long and how much they love the Lord, but you gonna see when this chaos break out, you gonna see. Jake gonna be cleaning the guns. They gonna be clean. They gonna clean everything but this Bible because it ain't in there.
No.
Exactly. You have to exercise this word. And again, I can't get out on the track with Hussein Bolt,
Right.
and think I'm gonna give him, any kind of competition. And at the same time, he can't step in this arena.
Right.
And think he can, come anywhere close to me as far as this word goes.
Right.
But yeah, man, that's why, real quick before we get up out of here, Revelation 3 and 10. When you staring death in the face, or you let me shoot this chip in you, that's gonna tell the whole story.
Right.
Or you just sitting there being tortured, and they say, well, shit, we can make all this go away. You take this chip. Your faith don't have to be rock solid. Because Babylon teaches you to love yourself and the flesh.
Right.
They don't put any value in the spirit, and there's no spirituality in these churches. So, right, if this body is all you know, I mean, yeah, you're going to cater to the flesh. Right? But we've been building a relationship with Yahweh, building up faith. Understand, the spirituality that comes in this book. So we value our spirit and our soul. These people only value the flesh, and they gonna take it for little or nothing. It ain't even gonna take torture.
Right.
It ain't
They
even
show
gonna
you
take
that
that.
now.
Right, yeah, it's
Yeah.
not, right.
Because what did they say? Corona's here. What was the first thing the church did? They closed the goddamn doors.
Right.
Where was your faith?
Where is the faith, right?
Yeah, they had priests spraying people with holy water out
I
of
was
water
goddamn
guns.
super soaker water guns as they drive by in their fucking car, in freaking cars.
Right, with masks on too. Hey, but that's like it said in Romans 10 and 13. How shall they call on him in whom they have not believed? You can read about what Jesus done in the scriptures, like they call him, but when you get in that, like you did that lesson, apply faith. When you get in that situation, now you can read about what Abraham did, what Paul, Yahweh did,
Right.
but when you get in there, did you read the things that was written aforetime so you can have comfort and patience of the scriptures?
That's it.
No, we have to read these things so we like, damn. For example, if you was about to get thrown into a fiery furnace, what's the first thing you gonna think about? Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. If somebody say, I'm gonna throw you in the lion's den if you don't take your chip, what you gonna think about? Daniel.
Most High
Now
can do
take
it,
those
right?
examples out. We don't have examples to look back on if we're in them situations, but we do, right? We do. So when we get in situations, we gonna have it. But we in a time like never before, so it's things brothers gonna be put in certain scenarios that never happened before.
New thing.
New things. You see? New things.
Yeah.
Simple thing, a shotgun getting put, they ain't had shotguns back then. But the point is, you have that faith to know, well, look, if the Most High did it for them, he can do it for me too.
Right.
You see? But if you ain't been trying the Lord, you don't know how it tastes when you
Right.
get in that situation.
That's it.
You know?
That's it. Because really they have, as scripture talks about, they have vain words. Another precept says, with their mouth do they honor me, but their heart is far from me, because you haven't actually, as the brother was going into, you haven't exercised it. You know what I'm saying? The Lord didn't give you faith just so you can, as a novelty. You know what I mean? Like something you can just look at and have. You're right. It's on the shelf. Like yeah. Hold on, let me grab it. Yeah, it's right there.
Yeah, the Lord gave me this.
Yeah. Check this out. Ain't it dope? Like no, it's for a purpose, and the elect, the hopeful elect, know what that purpose is, and it's for the Lord to be able to communicate with us, to navigate us through Jacob's trouble. I got a quick precept, and then whatever you got, brother. This is Ephesians 5 and 6. It says, "Let no man deceive you with vain words," and that's Esau's whole notion of Christianity, of Catholicism, any of these religions. It's all vain words because there's no application of it. And if there's no application of it, then that means that in the time in which you need it, you're not gonna be able to draw upon it.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna go reaching for something that ain't there. And then your flesh is gonna take over, and through that decision of you not practicing building up your faith, you're gonna fall to the temptation of Esau. or you're going to be deceived, as Scripture says. Let no man deceive you with vain words. Because of these things cometh the wrath of Yahweh upon the children of disobedience. Because essentially, when the Lord gave you faith in whatever capacity it was, you know, you basically did away with it. You know what I'm saying? You didn't cherish it. You didn't nourish it. You didn't cultivate it. And so that's being disobedient. Because Scripture says, without faith, you can't even please Yahweh Shem Yahushua. So why would He deliver you in the time of trouble? If you can't just abide by the simple task of having more faith and believing on Him in those situations, you know.
Revelations chapter 3, verse 10, it says, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, it says, I also would keep thee from the hour of temptation.
Now, temptation is when that microchip is going to be, Esau is going to try to force this on you. You know, at some point, a lot of people, as we've been saying, just going to take it. They ain't going to have to be forced.
Right.
If they going to want to eat, they want to still pay them bills. They want to still be a slave.
Right.
You know. But it's going to take faith to have to fight and stand up in that hour of temptation. You're going to need faith. But as is written, the Most High is going to keep His elect from that hour of temptation. And it says, what, brother? Read that from the top.
Revelations 3 and 10, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also would keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world, to try them that dwell upon the earth.
To try them. So it's a test. A test of your faith. And if you ain't been getting it in spiritually, yeah, you're going to fail that test. You're going to flunk. You're going to get a Z. Con. So, yeah, the brother's saying, you know, these things have to be applied, you know, in your day-to-day. So that when that time comes, it's just like the man has been training to fight. In the fight, you don't have to sit there and think. He just go automatically into what he was trained to do. And there's going to be so much chaos in this world, and judgment going to come upon you so fast, you ain't going to you won't have time to think what scripture was.
Right.
No.
Right.
You going to have to have this in you to, well, okay, this is what I need to be doing right now.
Right.
Okay, now,
Right.
Yeah, I remember this is what I need to do in this situation. It's going to have to kick in spiritually.
Right.
Without thought, you know, nothing of the flesh, without your brain, it's going to have to come from the spirit. You know? It's going to have to be spiritually. It's going to have to be spiritually.
You know, anytime you train, and the reason why you train is to have those things become involuntary. And that's what the brother's going into. When you sow, when Yahweh sows into you, you know, these words, and you supping with Yahweh, it's for that purpose, to be able to maneuver involuntarily, you know, to follow the Lamb wherever He may go, you know. But in a spiritual sense, you got to be able to recognize, okay, the Lord is navigating me here, you know, or He's moving me here. But yeah, if you haven't built up any of that inventory, I'll call it that, you know, storing up your treasures in heaven, then you ain't gonna have nothing to go on. You know, you're gonna fall right to the flesh, and Esau gonna have your ass in the snare. Real quick, this is Galatians, touching on the point in which Taz Paul talked about. This is Galatians 6 and 8. It says, for he that soweth to his flesh shall of the flesh reap corruption. So you've been sowing to your flesh the whole while, you know. Well, what do you think is gonna happen in that time of decision, or the hour of temptation? You're gonna keep sowing to the flesh, because that's what you've been sowing unto. You've never denied the flesh. You've never denied yourself. So you're gonna ultimately be corrupted. Okay? It says, but he that soweth to the Spirit shall of the Spirit reap life everlasting. And that's what we're doing. We're sowing, we're placing those seeds in us of life everlasting, to where in these moments of decision, because really that's what they are. It's sequencing of decisions that have to be made in order to be delivered. But those answers to what those decisions are the spirit of these holy words. And that is what leads to life. But if you don't have those answers, you're not going to be able to be navigated or led by the Spirit out of these out of this trouble, specifically for Jacob. That's it.
Yeah, you can wrap it up, man.
I had a quick
Precept. All right.
just a quick one. Just going into that point about our people saying they have faith, man, and it not being exercised works. You know, just I got faith in the Lord. You haven't been putting it to use, like brother saying. You haven't been doing anything to increase it. But this is a real quick, James 2:14. What doeth it profit, my brethren, though a man say he have faith, and have not works? Can faith save him? If a brother or sister be naked and destitute of daily food, and one of you say unto them, depart in peace, be ye warmed and filled, notwithstanding ye give them not those things which are needful to the body, what doeth it profit? Okay, even so, faith, if it have not works, is being dead alone, right? So our people have no works to go with their faith. You know, they're not going out and not preaching.
It's dead being alone.
Yeah, dead being alone, Salah. I read it again. 2:17. Even so, faith, if it have not works, is being dead. It's dead being alone. Right. Yeah. So, you know, you can't just say you have faith, you know, and haven't been getting into the scriptures and, you know, just been living in the flesh. You know, it's not gonna work.
You say I got get the Lord will put you in a situation
Right. You
where
have to
all right, show me.
demonstrate it. Right.
Show you got it.
Yeah.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, the scripture says prove all things. So, and that goes back to that trial of your faith, you know, because that's really all this is. It's a training ground to be delivered, but it's based upon who's exercised and cultivated and nourished their faith versus those that, you know, lip service said I have faith.
Right.
You know, and because all that's going to be determined, you know.
Well, we're going to end it right there, brothers. We pray that you was edified, you know, through the spirit of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Wahara Chakadash. And we're going to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai Ba'ashem Chakadash. Double honors to the apostles, a great millstone. Peace and blessings to Dakim out there doing the work of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai in truth, faith, and in sincerity. So to the next one, we brothers keep pushing and stay up. Shalom.
Shalom.
Keep on pushing.